What's happening, man? I just got finished with my workout. About to warm up some grub. And I'm for the rest of the day. I gotta run out though and grab me some more dirt. My new batches, the new babies getting too big for they containers, so I gotta make sure I hurry up and throw them in some bigger pots. That's what's up. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Right, right. It was progression, progression. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you happy about that, 'cause that shit is terrible to go about your day just being sick, period. But then especially like smoking. But was your throat hurting though? Was your throat hurting? Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. What about your taste buds though? What about your taste buds? That's good. All right. Cause sometimes even with regular colds, you can get taste bud loss. So this COVID shit is just they on some bullshit for real, for real. Yeah, you couldn't receive the salt as much. The salt was numbed down. When you get like that, man, you at risk of fucking around and bringing your goddamn cholesterol up, or your what is that shit tied to salt? You would fuck around and over season some shit. Bring your blood pressure up. No, I ain't saying you. I'm saying a person can do that. Say you a motherfucker that you cook, but you kind of sick and you making some chili or something. Man, you keep putting salt in that motherfucker, next thing you kill the rest of the family. Shit, I need to shave. I'm over here looking like a wolf. I was trying to get my wife to line me up, but we both keep bullshitting. I ain't gonna let her do my mustache. She always fuck my mustache up, by my opinion. But she can do the rest of it. My beard. I was trying to have my beard grow thicker, and somehow we keep making that motherfucker back to where it was. Finally, I got a motherfucking full playbook that I'm cool with. All my plays is in that bitch. Yeah, I'm warming up some grub, brother. I'm gonna eat that shit too. You know what I'm saying? Go on, get your smoke on, man. Talk to your boo boo for a little bit or something. I'll just make sure you get in the chat though. If y'all wasn't if you wasn't busy, where we just holler in the chat for a minute. But I'm about to smash. I got to smash. I had to stop working out as much because I wasn't felt like I was well, I was trying to gain weight, but I couldn't stay at the weight I was at. I was trying to stay at it, get to at least 200 or stay at 195, and then just cut that shit up. But I was working out too much and not eating enough, so I had to eat. I gotta eat some more and not work out as much. But yeah, I gotta make sure I smash, even when I ain't really all the way hungry. If I work out, I gotta make sure I eat immediately after that shit. I was through last night too, boy. I my back was bothering me, man. My wife gave me a muscle relaxer, so that motherfucker was lingering in my system for about 2 days. You know what I'm saying? I'm all, yeah. That's my nickname, Cody McNeil. I used to, I'm all myself today, baby. No drugs. Good shit. Where is my Buffalo Wild Wing sauce? Would do such a thing. Right in my face. Ooh, that's terrible, especially if you're sick too. Yeah, that blow it. I had some shit from one of my homeboys who was growing too, but he wasn't drying his shit right. So his humidity was too high in his yep, it was in his dry room. You couldn't smoke it. So I was trying to blaze it. That shit wouldn't stay lit. I'm like, what the fuck, bruh? Yeah, what, man, what the fuck? But I kept feeling it. It felt dry, but it's like the inside too much moisture. I couldn't even put it in the pipe. Nope. What? Nothing I can do about it. I had to just leave it out on my tray for a couple of days. I forgot about it. It wasn't hitting like that. Why you have them in there? It was too dry. What you had it in though? A bag or? Mm. Mm. You should try Bovita packs. Mm-mm. Bovita. Bovita. Hmm. I'll show you one. Yeah, but they regulate the moisture. If you keep it in like a jar, they regulate the moisture. If it's you can buy 58% humidity and 62%. I usually like to use the 62s, but I got some 58s by mistake, but they still cool. But mhm, mhm, mhm. Me neither. Mhm. That's why. That's why I like this fresh shit. I be having. Like you can't beat that. Like the freshness is a difference. You can. Like it's a different taste though. Mhm. Man, that shit tastes so good. Right. Mhm. That shit. Mhm. Right, right. I remember back in the day, the brick weed, you fuck around, see a piece of rope in that bitch. Rope, goddamn caterpillars. Mm-hmm. As long as the bud was never sick, because I know from experience when my shit had bugs on it, the smell of that weed. And I remember back in the day when people would get some weed and be like, man, it smells funny. Or they'll say, man, people be spraying Raid on their shit. It's not Raid. It was the shit I had. Because it smelled like Raid. So ain't nobody spraying Raid on their shit. Mm-mm. Yeah, it's neem oil. Yeah, it's neem oil. It's safe, but you don't want it on your bud. And I don't spray it on my buds. I spray it. No, I spray it on the whole flower and leaf. But once my buds get like third week of maturity, I don't spray it no more. Like when it first start forming the flowers, I can spray it. But after a while, the buds start developing and they get a little more mature. Them trichomes, that sticky shit will start holding on to everything. You know what I'm saying? It's sticky. Yep. It hold all that. Everything in there is sticking to it. So it be little hairs in my shit sometimes too. Little fine hairs. You can only see them with a microscope. And I try not to sweep when I got my rooms open, cause all that dust and shit in the air will fuck around and get my shit mold if it's flowering. You ain't gonna get no mold on them when they vegging. It really only mold and get that mildew when they in flower mode. I wonder if my cat is high, cause he keep eating my leaves. The regular flower, not the flower leaves, but the veg leaves. He ate a couple sugar leaves before. Matter of fact, I know he was high. I wonder how high he was. Mm, that was on point. God damn. Think we can get two good games in an hour? Uh huh. I'm trying to make sure I get me some practice in though for these motherfuckers to beat my ass. Yep. Mhm. Yeah, how you been? How you been? Yeah, you gotta send it. Oh shit, you weren't playing, was you? Hold on one more time. Wait a minute. Oh, it's already on there. Wait a minute. Wait. God damn it. Close foot. All right, get ready to send another one. Orange juice slap, don't it? You can over it. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not too much can still slap after you brush your teeth, except some type of acidic pop. But anything with more of a water base is not gonna be strong enough. I really don't like to drink too many sweet juices when I'm having something like pancakes, because the pancakes overpower the sweetness. But orange juice can, with the natural sweet, go with it though. My wife be making me mad when she'll drink pop in the morning with our breakfast. I be like, you messing up you messing up the synergy.
Well, the
Messing up the
NFL on EA
symbiotic
Sports has
relationship
moved
that all your
across
taste
the
buds
Atlantic
supposed
to
to
the capital
experience.
city of London, England.
You fucking up the
Today,
flavors,
we've got a
baby.
good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers.
She ain't no good seasoning. She's scared of the seasonings. She says she's dealing with high blood pressure, so.
The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here.
Come down here to the
underway here in London.
So she ain't really dealing with
on the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone.
He returns this to the 22. Your blood pressure will be affected positively. So I'm gonna wait for some white dudes with a white coat to say it. Probably still won't do it.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second and 10.
Baby.
The give is to Elliott. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back.
Way to get up in that
crease. Work this one up to about the 38. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
4 yards remain for 2nd down. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Go wherever they ain't, fellas.
I'd say
Go
right down
ain't.
Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Pollard. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. A give to Elliott running left. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
They keep on the ground with Elliott.
Good
Elliott a
patience,
first down
good
and
patience,
more.
good patience.
Touchdown!
Better without the ball from the stick. I mean, without the plate.
Ezekiel
I
Elliott,
mean, with the plate.
34 yards.
Yeah,
And
you
the
did.
Cowboys have taken the
That was
early
good
lead.
patience.
Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point.
It was
You
nice,
break off
that was
one right there,
nice.
and everything
Nice.
suddenly looks bad for you.
I like that. Got to apply that in the league.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Rodgers.
This one swung out here to Jones.
Good D, good D.
That catch good for only
Good
a couple.
cover.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit.
Hey, and
after they give
sometimes
up a
I'm trying to do
touchdown
the
on the
QB
opening
contain,
drive.
and you hike the ball before I can get finished hitting it, and it make my linebacker over pursuit or shoot through the line. Sometimes it works good, sometimes it
2nd and
don't.
8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big connection on that one. 37 yards. Now Elliott.
Oh, cut it in.
Average a bit as this time
I was trying to cut that bitch back in.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
They'll try again with Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
You think you sweet ready now? Nigga, that shit ain't digested now. Sound good. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. That shit ain't did nothing. But all right.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Now Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Tight end, baby.
Schultz there to make the grab. And the Cowboys will add on to
no
their
time
lead.
to react. That was it right now.
No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
As soon as I say hut,
running his routes, because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Zerline now for the PAT.
I had a heartbreak loss last night, boy. I had a motherfucker 28 to 17 or some shit. The bitches came back, beat us 35 or 42 to 28. It was heartbreaking, man. It was like my best game ever. And we fucked it out. Motherfucking CD Lamb had like 3 touchdowns. He was going off. And you ain't been in none of these leagues yet, so you ain't seen the features, but sometimes it'll be a locker room chat with your player. You be like, man, you know, I'm hot, man. You need to give me the ball. I promise you. Give me the ball. I'm going to show out for you.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline.
I gave that motherfucker the ball, and he did exactly that. But I had 2 receivers that was that wanted the ball. My CD Lamb and my tight end. My tight end wanted the rock, and if I would have gave him the rock and let him get some positive gains, he could have got double XP. But I ain't giving him the shit. I fucked up.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers.
A little bit soon. Get that timing together.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, it's Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And got his man complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Touchdown! Rodgers finding Valdez-Scantling. And the Packers are back within a score.
As they began this last drive, things weren't exactly looking up for this offense. But after what they just did, putting the ball in the end zone, that took them away from the brink of possibly being knocked out of this game.
Crosby with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Pollard to return from the end zone. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
It did look like you had it, though. The animation didn't change. I was happy as a motherfucker.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
The 71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Looking to throw. Prescott. Room to run past midfield.
And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50.
I hope my pink
maybe
shit
some
come
sort
out
of scheme
pink.
like that
I
to try and
can't
get
wait
more
to taste it,
pressure
and I
at
hope
the
it tastes
passer.
good.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7.
Yeah, I read some shit about some other. It's another strain that's pink too, but it says some of it, 60% of them will turn pink. So some of them won't turn pink. You know what I'm saying? Which is some bullshit. But that wasn't my strain.
We remind you in just a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Orlando.
Strawberry.
Our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats.
But it's mixed with mine.
So
it's a mix of my shit and
it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Maybe some
and when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Working with his 2nd and 4. From the pistol, here's Elliott. And he gets it down to the 32.
I like that.
We thought that was difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. It'll be a handoff to Pollard, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And the move from Mike McCarthy is going to be to keep the offense on the field here on 4th down. They're going for it. Prescott now. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And not much happening there as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Randy Gregory picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
What the fuck?
That certainly makes it something of an important drive.
Dude, just stop. You're supposed to dive for you.
No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
You're in the backfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run again with Dillon. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the 3rd quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. Throw right side, going to be complete to DeGuara. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. The kick by Crosby is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching
that's
their
what
way
be happening to me a lot.
Time left.
I be having the motherfucking shots wide open, and it's like that. I be feeling like it'd be me when I'm controlling the receiver. I fuck it up just enough.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys.
Then sometimes it'd be back.
And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it.
Cut it
the
in
mentality this go around.
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47.
103 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. 2nd and 4.
A give to Elliott.
Oh, damn.
This play out behind the line. We have not
Call
seen
it wasn't
that
no
much
good
today.
blocker on
It's
that
a
one.
loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Here's Brian Anger now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Dillon.
This is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Shotgun now for Rodgers.
This one complete, probably should have
was my
been picked. A little nonchalant with a throw to the safety valve, and it's 4th down.
Let's go.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. A curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line.
Why they try to
This is a nice little gift wrap situation as they take over 1st and goal. They'll run with Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Welcome back now here in London. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing. Prescott. And this is a rocket pulled in by Cooper. Complete. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Elliott. Forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Held my arms. I couldn't get the stretch animation.
They'll run it with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
That's just what I needed when you run your dude in.
Find his way in from a yard out. And the Cowboys, they push
And I
out
almost fucked that up.
Well, this defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Rodgers on the return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, you know, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. That catch good for only a couple. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones.
What the fuck?
And he's got room. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Cowboys' 34. 43 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. On first down, Rodgers. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the Packers are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Dillon. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. On second and goal, Rodgers. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 40. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that last pick 6 may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter. They need points quickly.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Rodgers. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
Oh!
And that would be incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Rodgers again now. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. Rodgers now to throw. And he hits his target, the tight end Lewis. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
On 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. For the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Over the middle, complete. That's Cobb. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Working from the gun, Rodgers. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Another try after the 1st down sack. Rodgers to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now this likely a must-have, 3rd and goal. Now it's Rodgers. And it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams there to make the grab. And the Packers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now Crosby for the point after. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Pollard to return from the end zone. This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Throwing here, Prescott. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Dean Lowry, what a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline, because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but yeah, you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say cheerio from London.
Except we have the PA cross country. How would that's going to work? Is just like, I'm just going to streak the A-Rap with the X-Rap and drag and pretty much it. I'm blocking the right too if I want. But ultimately, this is a very easy and really strong coverage concept to attack. It's really simple. That was probably cover 3. The drag's going to pull back any deep zones. This here looks like a man. Someone blocked my running back.
Motherfucking blue screen.
Block that running back. The X right here is.
At least we got through the game.
Probably should have tried to get rid of that a little bit sooner because of the pressure. But